I hope somebody listens. I hope somebody recognizes what I'm saying because they're playing you. They're playing you. $45 million citizens have student debt. For 2 years, it's been paused due to the pandemic. Okay, that's reasonable. But here it goes. May 1st is going to end. So Joe Biden ran on reducing $10,000 per student. Of course, he reneged on that. He can't get it done now that he's in office. Hell, I want it all wiped because I know that students, and when I say students, man, there's all types of people still paying student debt. When we talk about this issue, there are people that don't understand there are seniors paying student debt. There are people dying with student debt on their books. People always picture some rich white kid who gets to drive off in his Corvette without paying student loan bills. All types of people have student loan debt. All types of people. This is across the spectrum. It's not just people from 17 to 18 to 22. Okay? This affects people's ability to buy their homes, start businesses. When you push to remove student debt, those people, they're not going to take the money that they save on student debt and go put their money in offshore bank accounts like the rich and wealthy. No, people who are not paying student debts do things like buy homes. They do things like buy cars, fix up their homes, fix up their apartments, put some food in the refrigerator on a more regular basis. Maybe they eat out once a month or twice a month or whatever it is. You know, we're not talking about enough money per family or per borrower to like change so that they're now at the casino every day. Okay? This is not hitting the lottery. And the money that they spend goes to businesses, typically local businesses. So when you in student debt, what are you really doing? You're investing in the economy. And you're going to invest in the economy, local economies all across the country. Because there are people who owe student debt all across the country. So when I talk about erasing student debt, I'm talking about a boon to working people. The other thing I want to push back on is people that believe that erasing student debt, there's a bunch of rich people who are independently wealthy who now don't have to pay for their college tuition. Earth to you. Did that scare you? I'm sorry. Earth to you. Rich people don't take out loans to go to college. Rich people have trust accounts where college is already paid for. Please stop with the Republican talking points about freaking student debt, Joe. It's okay not to know shit, okay? What it's not okay is to keep repeating shit you heard some asshole on Fox News say, okay? That's what's not okay. Rich people don't take out loans for student debt to go to school. They get hooked up. They get parents to take care of that shit. They write what's called checks. You may have heard of them. I know a lot of us working shifts don't have it like that, so we can't relate to it. We just imagine crazy stuff. But it would really be nice to not every time we have this conversation about student debt, not having a bunch of knuckleheads on Twitter and Facebook and YouTube making arguments that are totally against their own best interest. Now, I know it helps you in the algorithm. May put a little bit of money in your pocket because you're an influencer. It helps your timeline. It may help you grow your audience of other numbskulls and conservatives working against the best interests of not just you, but your cousins, your brothers, your sisters, your next-door neighbors. You're willing to do that to put money in your pocket. Okay. You're a scumbag. But you're also wrong. When you erase student debt, you help a lot of people get out of the hole. So people say, okay, Tim, well, Joe Biden's already erased some student debt. Well, what he did is a slither, and I do mean a slither of government workers who are in certain disciplines, who are public sector, public servants. So Biden reduced debt or eliminated debt for 100,000 public workers, public servants, people who work in the government, who work for certain nonprofit organizations. But there are very strict guidelines and conditions that you must meet to qualify for that. Also, as I told you in the beginning, there are 4 million, how many people? 45 million people with student debt. He's talking about 100,000 people, Johnson. 100,000 people is a lot less than 45 million people. So let's not continue the Democrat talking point that Biden's done such a great job on this. He's already helped all these people. Yeah, the fact that those 100,000 people projected 100,000 people, because it hasn't been done yet, only if you qualify and only if you meet the deadline for submission. Just because that amount will be about $6 billion, that's not because he's saving them so much money. It's because so many people have debt. Okay? That's all that is. So we got 2 talking points we're going to do away with. One is that Biden's doing such a great job and that he's reduced or removed all this student debt. He hasn't. Not even 5% of it, of the total. Not even that, not even close, of all the people that owe student debt. And we're also going to remove the talking point, the Republican talking point, that this is going to help a bunch of Scott Baio kids or Chelsea Handler's kids, whoever, whatever celebrity they pull out their ass and say, I don't want to help rich kids not pay for student loans. Well, you help countries pay for bombs. I hope somebody listens. I hope somebody recognizes what I'm saying, because they're playing you. They're playing you. Joe Biden made a commitment. You ran on a certain policy. If you want to be reelected, it might be a good idea to live up to it. That's all I'm saying. This video was streamed live April 4th, 2022. On April 5th, they agreed to pause payments until August 2022. You're kicking the can down the road, Johnson. Figures. Typical.